So you're watching a video, and this crazy transition hits. You start thinking, why don't mine ever look like that? You've watched all the tutorials, you've bought the fancy plugins, and you've even spent hours tweaking them, frame by frame. But somehow, they still kind of suck. I've been there, and after breaking down what actually made my transitions better, it all came down to 3 simple changes, and the last one might surprise you. It's not about the VFX or hopping on trends. Once you try these, I promise you'll see a difference in your work. Whenever my edits felt boring, I used to think cool transitions were the fix. And to be fair, sometimes they are. Depending on the type of video, throwing in something punchy can help keep attention. But here's where I went wrong. I was using transitions as decoration. I would drop in a glitch, a whip pan, a film burn, just to make something look cool. There was no other reason, and it really showed. My work ended up looking shallow, and it looked amateur. The problem wasn't the transitions themselves, it was when I used them. For example, here is a sequence with a bunch of flashy transitions. And here's one that's simpler, but with more intention. Even though the second one was simpler, it felt more intentional. The camera followed the direction of the transition instead of feeling slapped on. And that's the first fix. Stop using transitions as decoration and start using them with direction. Ask yourself, what is this transition trying to accomplish? Is this match cut just cool, or does it show time passing by? Is this VFX transition for fun, or is it for world building? Transitions act as glue for your visual storytelling, so once they're used with purpose, they'll feel way more pro and hit just the right way. I used to think the only way to make crazy transitions was to use crazy plugins. Templates for camera pans, plugins for glitches, and high-quality overlays. I thought my edits would suck if I wasn't a master at VFX. Oh man, what a naive boy I was. After hundreds of tutorials, thousands of dollars wasted, I realized throwing on more effects just made my work feel emptier. If you feel the same way about your transitions, try to keep it organic. Instead of relying on digital transitions, use the motion of your camera to guide the transition. Try pushing through something to move between scenes, or pulling out to reveal new information. These transitions have more weight because it doesn't feel like an afterthought. So some of you might know, I love using whip pans. It's probably the most reliable way of bringing energy to my edits without feeling like a cheap effect. But sometimes, I forget to shoot a whip pan, or I don't want to go and shoot extra footage. So if you don't own a camera, or you're not confident in your cinematography, there is still a solution. That's why I'm really excited about Happy Editing sponsoring this video. I've been using their film whip transitions lately, and I'm surprised there aren't many packs like this on the market. They're real whip pans captured in 16mm film, which means instead of another boring digital swipe, you get motion with real grain, texture, and character. Here's what a typical transition looks like from a digital transition pack. Now here's one with a film whip transition pack. Just drag and drop any of the clips onto your timeline, and you're done. It's shot in a bunch of different locations, so whether you're editing travel vlogs, music videos, or client work, you'll find something that fits. Check it out with the link below, and thanks again Happy Editing for sponsoring this video. Also, I've just launched a community and membership for creators who are serious about growing in their craft, so thank you to this month's members in supporting the channel. Learning a new transition is exciting. I get caught up in it all the time, and before I know it, I'm trying to use it in every video. But too much of a good thing can be bad. So, no surprise here, but I love watching sick transitions, but too many, and it starts feeling like the worst roller coaster of my life. Ironically, when every shot has a crazy transition, none of them stand out. You don't give it room to shine. So the problem might not be that your transition sucks. It might just be that you didn't need it in the first place. Just like in the first tip, ask yourself why it's even there. If it's not building rhythm, connecting scenes, or adding any meaning, just get rid of it. One of my favorite quotes is from a French writer who said, "Perfection is achieved not when there's nothing more to add, but when there's nothing left to take away." If a transition stays, it has to earn its spot.